सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। We'll read it till the 17th or 18th shloka together. कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलं कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडं कृतिमहो ददौ पतनकारणं फलमशाश्वतं गतिनिरोधकम् ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकम् कायवाङ्मनः कार्यमुत्तमं पूजनं जपश्चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगत ईषधीयुक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृद्देवपूजनम् उत्तमस्तवादुच्चमन्दतः चित्तजं जपध्यानमुत्तमम् आज्यधारया स्रोतसा समं सरलचिन्तनं विरलतः परं भेदभावनात् सोऽहमित्यसौ भावनाभिदा पावनीमता भावशून्यसद्भावसुस्थितिः भावनाबलात् भक्तिरुत्तमा हृस्थले मनः स्वस्थता क्रिया भक्तियोगबोधाश्च निश्चितं वायुरोधनात् लीयते मनः जालपक्षिवत् रोधसाधनं चित्तवायवश्चित्क्रियायुताः शाखयोर्द्वयी शक्तिमूलका लयविनाशने उभयरोधने लयगतं पुनर्भवति नोऽमृतं प्राणबन्धनात् लीनमानसम् एकचिन्तनात् नाशमेत्यदः नष्टमानसोत्कृष्टयोगिनः कृत्यमस्ति किं स्वस्तितिं यतः दृश्यवारितं चित्तमात्मनः चित्वदर्शनं तत्वदर्शनं मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात् वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मनः। so far we have seen various paths. We have seen karma, bhakti, ashtanga. Now we start the jnana. So the others have been included and concluded by the 16th shloka. From the 17th to the 30th or 31st, 30th shloka, it is the jnana marga, path of knowledge. This is supposed to be the direct path, and in this direct path it is called enquiry, path of enquiry. What is the path of enquiry? Manasam tu kim margane krite naiva manasam marga arjavat. Arjava, the root word is rujutva. It is from this very word that we have Arjuna. Arjavat Arjuna. He was simple minded, straightforward person, no mess around kind of a person. Therefore, he was known as Arjuna. So, here Marga Arjava, the path is very straightforward. Not lot of hoops of do's and don'ts, but a straight path of enquiry. Why is this path of enquiry called a straight path? Manasam tu kim, this is how you start. Instead of trying to analyze how this mind or why this mind reacts, acts various patterns, instead the focus is what exactly is this mind? That which is becoming such a tremendous pain, what exactly is this stuff called mind? Manasam tu kim margane krite. Margane krite, this is the marga, this is the path of enquiry. And as you sit for enquiring, you will soon realize, he puts it so simple, making it hilarious when you look at it from the perspective of all those who are trying to strive to realize. He says very simple in 2 words. When you start enquiring, you will realize Naiva manasam. Naiva manasam, there is no mind. That is the truth to it. It is a very potent question that he is putting. If there is something really existing, then you can inquire into it. You have a lot of statistical analysis, data, you can analyze through the entire process. But when you find that there is nothing to investigate, what are you trying to investigate then? Today in teacher satsang, we had Bhaja Govindam. That was also very potent shloka. That was also directly into the path of enquiry. Do you remember the shloka? 23rd number I also remember. Who has the 23rd shloka to work on? Whoever it is, I am waiting to see the write up. Kastvam koham kuta ayataha. No, not that one. That was the earlier one. This one is also a path of enquiry, and it Good one. Kastvam koham kuta ayatah kame janani kome tatah iti paribhavaya sarvamasaram vishvam tyaktva swapna vicharam. Kastvam, go inquire who exactly are you. Here he is also talking about the same thing. Go inquire what exactly is this mind. You say the mind agitated, mind is doing this, mind is doing that, my mind is so terrible, my emotions are this, I am going through such a terrible time, I am having emotional issues, I am having depression. Little sadness, and people have started using the word depression for everything and anything. Little sadness and you don't feel like doing something that you ought to do. I think I am depressed. The 4-year-old, 5-year-old are using that word. Even in the counseling sessions when I sit and I say, Swamiji, I think I am depressed. Do you even know the spelling of depression? Yeah, everything going on very well. Yeah, your mind may not be in the right condition. Understood? When you look at the technical definition of, and you go to the psychologist, no, psychiatrist. You go to the psychiatrist and, sorry if there is any psychiatrist here. Anybody? But even if there is, fine. They are supposed to shrink your problem. And that is why I tell them why they are called shrinks. They say, don't take it as a negative note to it. You are called shrinks because you resolve people's problem and shrink their problem. Therefore, you are a shrink. I said, no, Swamiji, they shrink our wallet. Anything that you want to go with a doctor, it will shrink your wallet. Why, doctor? Yes or no? Better say yes, man. Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. There is a famous shloka, very funny one too. It compares a doctor and Lord Yama. Vaidyarajyam namastubhyam. Hey Vaidyaraja meaning doctor. Namastubhyam. Salutations to you. Tvam hi Yama sahodaraha. You are verily the younger brother of Yama. Well, you are more qualified than Yama. Yama tu pranan harati. Yama, Lord Yama takes the prana of all the jivas. Tvam pranani dhanani cha. You snatch away not just prana but also their wealth. You go to a shrink and the shrinks, instead of looking into the problem, now they have started using extensive medication. Put them on medication, dull their brain. I say that is the solution. Now when you try to analyze, what is this mind? We have seen earlier, it is nothing but the subtlest form of matter. Mind is nothing but subtlest form of matter. You have, this is matter, body is matter, mind also is matter. We have never looked into that particular theme, particular zone to analyze it, and as long as you don't know about anything, you are scared. I don't know, when the emotions come, I don't know what happens to me. Oh, only if emotions come? Even otherwise you look quite a challenge. Silly little things that happen and we keep mounting them up, and I am not trying to trivialize anybody's life here, don't get me wrong. I am not belittling anybody's experience. Oh, sitting on the stage, sitting on a high platform, you look down upon everybody's problem, it doesn't behove of you, don't get me wrong. I have been speaking on this for about 20 years. I know this is how people have reacted as well. So, what gives you a right to belittle our problems? So, tusi change ho ji, continue with your problems. Tusi change ho is translation, good to you or good be to you. May you be good. Continue like that. It is not belittling, it is trying to look into the very root cause. After all, it is matter. And how can matter over or envelop anything that is consciousness? Can it? Should it? If it is just matter, you should be able to handle it very well. Matter meaning that which is the material made of. The entire material world is made of matter. I think it is the subtlest form of it. Iti paribhavaya sarvam asaram, says our Adi Shankaracharya ji. He says, try to identify what is the issue. That mind, the identification with the mind and the various swings that we go through. Just because the mind swings, should I also swing along with it? After the, not the regional planning, what was the other one? The Camtracon, I decided, just because there is a dance session or a Zumba session, I am not going to dance any further. You dance. I will be the witness of the dance. Just because somebody is there, you don't need to dance. Just because there is a swing, you don't need to swing along with it. I give you two examples. This happened in India. One of my friends, Bombay, it is quite, at least 12, 13 years ago, it was a regular thing. If you, there are high-rise buildings, and whatever is inside the trash, you just throw it out of the window, throw it out of the balcony. I am not joking. So this fellow throws out a peel, banana peel out. I said, well, what if somebody falls? Their eyes have been given so that they can look down and watch where they are putting their foot. What if they fall? It's their problem. And this is how the audacity of the people there. And we soon got a call, we had to rush. We got down and were running towards his car. Same banana peel was waiting for him. And he didn't watch, stepped on it, slips, falls, and since that day we have been calling him Iron Man, because he has couple of blades, couple of screws, one rod. His both legs and one side of the hip were like pulped, because we were running and it was a paved, the cemented pavement, and it was a pretty nasty crash. Lucky I was there, I uploaded him into the car and downloaded him into the hospital. 2 months rehab, and then he comes out. I happened to be there, so I said, I will come and pick you up. As we were walking from his hospital discharge and back to the car, on the pavement there was another banana peel. And he literally, you know, he jumped back kind of, do I have to fall again? Bewkoof. Bewkoof means fool. Just because you see a banana peel, you don't need to fall every time. Be intelligent enough, step on the other side. Be more compassionate, that instead of just stepping aside, pick that up and trash it so that nobody else falls. First example. The second example, every time it rains outside, should I get wet? Well, if you love doing it, go ahead. The American language for that, lingo for that is go knock yourself out. If you really love running in rain. There was a phase when I used to do that. We used to play soccer in rainy season. It was fun. Our mom used to wait for us, both me and my brother, to return outside the house so that she would hose us down. He should have been listening to the class. Why is he calling me? Ved. Hopefully the whatever broadcast is working. Already she's already checking it. Ved bhai, what happened? Why are you calling Swamiji? Anyways, so we used to love, and my mom used to wait there with a hose and hose us down because she didn't allow us to get into the house with all that dirt all over. You loved it. Just because every time there is rain and you don't choose to get wet, what do? The various methods. You put on a poncho, a raincoat, or take an umbrella, or best, have an umbrella on your side, get into your garage, get into the car, get out in that car. The car gets wet, but you don't get wet. Well, if you have to go out, if you don't have to go out and from your house you have to see it, sit down on a nice couch, warm yourself with a good cup of chai, get some pakoras, sit, enjoy the nice weather. I know, I am also hungry. Just because it is rainy outside, I don't need to get wet. Every time it rains, if somebody is complaining that every time it rains I have to get wet, what? You are working in some kind of a drainage system or a sewer canal or something. You don't need to get wet every single time. Or you know, why I am a cop. Even the cops have got something to cover themselves up. You don't have to, you just watch it. Similarly, inside, we have never seen ourselves other than the mind. We have been so one with it that whatever is the whims and fancies that keep bursting forth in our mind, we start dancing accordingly. There's somebody who asked me in one of the chick classes, shouldn't life mean to do whatever I like, that is what I should do? So I gave him Gurudev's definition, Anuj. So I was talking yesterday. So I gave him Gurudev's definition of freedom. Not doing what you feel like, not doing what you like is called freedom. You know what? How can that be a statement? Just because there is a pattern of like or dislike, I jump according to the tunes of it. It's not necessary. Is it something required, necessary, that has to be entertained? That alone can be entertained. That which is not necessary, observe it. But instead we are like that fellow sitting looking at the second peel of banana, again it is going to come, again I am going to fall, again I am going to cry, I don't know, I am a mess. We know that. Can you put an effort to move forward? Every time there is a volcanic eruption inside, do you need to succumb to it? We are so weak that every time there is an emotional thing that goes, I am so identified one with it that I get tossed according to different whims and fancies. Does it really have that kind of strength to toss me around. I am not talking about somebody else's control. And we are the ones who do not like any kind of control on ourselves by anybody outside. Do you like that control? Somebody else controlling you? Parents controlling you don't like. Spouses controlling you don't like. Government controlling you don't like. System controlling you don't like. That's why I like Matrix. Because the revolution was against that control. Matrix the movie. What is Matrix? Anything that tries to control you. We never liked it. But we seldom pause to realize that that which is trying to intimately stay with us and control us is our own mind. To fulfill what is necessary as I am living, is that pattern which is existing in the mind necessary at this moment? Totally from a utilitarian standpoint. If it is not necessary, do I need to get scared with my own mind? Oh my God, I don't know, I don't know how to, I'm scared. Get onto the stage and speak for 2 minutes. I don't know. There was a politician in Britain, Parliament. Whenever he would get onto the stage, he was an avid debater. He would have a coat with a button and he would keep twisting it, turning it. And while he would be talking, he would constantly be doing it. And the people tried winning over him with debates, nothing worked. There was this smart guy, a younger guy into the Parliament. He said, I'll take head on with him. And what did he do? The next time he was there for the debate, he paid somebody to snap that button off of his coat. So he goes onto the stage, he finds, what is this? And then nothing came out that day. It's just an external representation of the internal Klingon. Basically, I like the Star Trek clan of Klingons. Star Trek, right? They are Klingons. There is a clan, breed, I don't know what you call them. I like that characters there because it reminds me of human beings. We are that stupid Klingons. Anything that passes by, we go, I don't know, I'm like this, no. I'm sad, I'm bad, I'm mad. How long? Instead of trying to pursue as to why there is a mad thought, sad thought or a bad thought, put that why aside. It's not an intelligent pursuit. Because by the time we are about 8 or 9 years old, we are armed with this why and why not, and we think we are the most intelligent people on the surface of earth. As long as we keep clinging on to why and why not, we are the most dumb, stupid people on the surface of earth. This is for your own recognition. Not tomorrow go outside and somebody says why or why not. Stupid people. No, it is for one's own analysis. Am I making it clear? You tell the kid to do something, say why? You ask them not to do something, why not? And I think that is the most powerful. Instead, focus on, because why this sad, why this mad, why this bad thought? Put it aside. In fact, gain strength in not even giving credibility and analyzing the thought or the content of the thought. Is it useful or not useful? Viveka. If it is not useful, it go by. Does it really matter even if the content was really terrible? You don't pay attention to it. And we are quite experts at it. We do exactly the same thing in Vedanta platform. When knowledge is being given, we don't pay attention to it. When in satsang, what happens? Even before the speaker speaks, I deal with a lot of them sitting, right? So there are people who are sitting there by force, because we have made a rule that if your child is here in the premises, you should be here. Like, there goes this fellow again. Okay, speak. What can I do? Okay, again Bhagavad Gita. Okay, go on. They already written any speaker off. I know this already. Anyway, we don't pay attention. Or there are some who come and nicely sleep to the class. Benefits of satsang. Insomniacs are treated here for free. Without pill or medication. Does my voice sound like a lullaby or something? Because I sing, people say it sounds horrible. If I speak, they sleep. There's something there. Do not pay attention to the content. Neglect it. Just observe it and let it go. No, we cling on to it, become one with it and start jumping accordingly. It reminds me of how people, catch monkeys. You know how they catch monkeys? At least this is how they caught there in that area. It is a very funny thing to look at. There was a huge jar full of nuts, and the mouth was thin and long, about half foot long mouth, a very thin one. You could put your hand in, and if you put it in the same condition, you can take it out. That is how thin is the mouth. So the monkey comes, puts its hand inside. What is the purpose of the monkey putting its hand? To take the nuts. It grabs the nuts and goes nuts. Why? It wants to pull its hand out, because of the fist closed, the hand doesn't come out of that narrow mouth. I should see the panic in its face. Oh, somebody is catching me from inside. And that is my interpretation. Swamiji, do you understand monkey language also? Huh. If I can understand chick language, then definitely monkey language. All that it has to do is drop. But we are not ready to let go. You want to hold on to it and still make it out. And the fellow who will come to catch the monkey, they will tie it down and beat until it drops. And then that's how we are into the samsara. Matter does not have strength, whether it is the mind matter or the outside matter, does not have strength or energy or any vitality to ensnare us or enslave us. But we never sit down to inquire. It's a scary thought to sit down and inquire. Because in the puja or any other thing, you go offer something and say, oh, no, done. Have I told you, shared my opinion about some of the bhajans or artis? The most hilarious one is Jai Jagadisha Hare. such bunch of lies that we go sing there in front of the Lord. The first thing is tan man dhan sab kuch hai tera. My body, my mind, my wealth, my everything is yours. Okay, body you can say is yours. Mind I say I can offer. Sorry, wealth I can say I can offer. To offer that mind, do you have it with you to offer? Okay, the first day that you come, you say I have offered my mind. You come back the second day and again sing the same line. A kid asked me once, Swamiji, what does this sentence exactly mean? I said, this is what it means. Then I said, why are they singing it daily? If you have come, very innocently he is asking, if you have offered it already yesterday, what is there left to be offered today? Makes a pretty good sense. I thought, kid, if you have this kind of common sense, after you grow up, education doesn't corrupt you, and you are set for life. That's a pretty amazing standpoint to look at. Now that mind, what exactly is this mind? Why am I succumbing to this mind? If you truly sit down to watch it and analyze what this mind is in the most scientific analytical manner, you will find there is nothing to investigate there. We can go into a lot of logical hoops and gymnastics of why that particular thought, how it is reacting, what is happening. We are quite efficient at that. And the kids know exactly how to irritate their parents, don't we? We can do exactly that one thing which can push the envelope at the parents, push that edge, and then sit back and enjoy. Because they know that is the soft button that you can push. We are quite experts at it, how it reacts, how it acts, how it responds. That is not the analysis that I am talking about. Go to the root cause. What exactly is this fellow? What is that mind? So, manasam tu kim margane krute naiva manasam marga arjavat. So, he says, this is the thought, this is the line of enquiry. Vrittayastvaham vrittimashritaha vrittayo mano vidyaham manaha. Simple statement. Vrittayaha manaha. Vrittayaha, thoughts make mind. More specific, flowing thoughts makes mind. The thoughts, do you know why they are called vritti? Sanskrit is such a beautiful language. Every word has got certain meaning to it, certain depth to it. I don't know, one American, I asked his name. He introduced himself and he said, my name is such and such. So I said, what's the meaning of your name? So he looked at me very sarcastically and says, I'm American, dude, our names don't have meanings. The Sanskrit, every word has got its own depth to it. Vrittayaha, vritta means a sphere, a circle. So the thought is like a cyclic movement. What is cyclic about it? It starts here, goes through different sense organs of perception, reaches out to the world, almost like feels that through the eyes you feel the forms, through the ears you feel these, and then returns back with that data into that mind. So there is a loop formed. A constant loop interacting with the world, material of world is called vritti. Vritti, thought. Continuous train of such thoughts is called mind. Vrittayaha manaha. And the funny thing is, just by the thought itself, thought does not have the vitality to move. Newton's law. This thing is material, matter. Okay, I placed it here. Will it move from there? What does the Newton's law say? It stays in its state of motion or state of inertia unless external force is applied. Force is equal to mass times acceleration. I am not taking a physics class here, I am just referring to that. Matter as such does not have a potency or vitality in itself to carry itself forward. It stays. Thought is matter. Thought does not have that vitality to move on its own. You put a fan. Oh, that reminds me, your brother. I was living in this very building downstairs in the apartment, and they had given me that big clunk of a machine called computer. The first time I was owning a computer in my life. This is about 12 years ago. I have gone a long way from there. So don't look at me with that look again. And they gave me computer, they thought I knew, and they said, this is the password and this is how you connect to that. It was still dial up in those days. This is how you connect to net zero. This is your account. Okay. I sit with that computer, every button that had on the keyboard, on the what do you call, the monitor, the CPU, everything that could be, I pushed. Nothing would start. So after a couple of days, this happened on Sunday, Tuesday their family came in and I was explaining this to their father. And Sridhar's younger brother, he goes and he, on the CPU, there is the toggle behind, the button behind, and he turns that on and the machine voila, it turns on. Until that it is fine. After that he said something. Does he even remember he said something? I can't forget that. He said, no wonder why you became a brahmachari. I was like, yeah, he burnt me down right there. He roasted me. I was like, I have to do something with this, I have to learn this now. Just because you have the machine, it is a matter sitting there, unless it is plugged in and turned on, it will not function. Similarly, just because there is thought, it will not move, it will not have any movement to it. So what happens intrinsically with the thought? Very beautifully, very technically explained. Vrittayaha tu aham vrittim ashritaha. With every single thought, whether you are conscious of it or not, with every single thought, whether you are conscious or unconscious of that thought, there is constantly an I thought which is tagging along. What are you all doing now? Whatever you are doing, just tell me, what are you doing now? Writing, listening, sitting. One answer that you can never give is sleeping. Not sleeping, okay. What's that? Ooh. Being is not doing. The state of existence. So you are sitting, you are writing, you are listening, you are comprehending, you are understanding. You all gave me verbs. Put it in a sentence. I am writing. I am sitting. I am trying to comprehend. I am really trying to stay awake. That I am is a constant in every action. In every thought, that I am is entwined with the thought matter. Vrittayaha aham vrittim ashritaha. What is carrying this vritti, carrying this thought? So, understand like this. On the superficial layer, there is the thought and its content. But what is the wagon that is carrying it? It is that I thought which is carrying it, which is giving it a movement. Vrittayaha tu vrittim ashritaha. Vrittayaha manaha. Vidhi aham manaha. The root for the mind and its movement is this I thought. I am not using this in a past tense. I thought that. No. It's a very subtle explanation here. Are you comprehending what I am saying? There is the thought of a material or the mind carrying different thoughts. The thought per se being matter does not have its vitality to move. It has to be empowered, as if plugged in with the I thought. As long as that I thought stays connected with that matter, the matter seems to be moving. Where do we focus? We focus on the matter and not on the I thought. Because the moment I shift my focus to the I thought and pull the plug, what happens to the matter? Like the angry birds hitting into the bad piggies. The whole thing will collapse. Have you ever played it with the sound on? Very graphic sounds. The entire thought collapses right there. The thought by itself does not have the potency to move forward. I, the consciousness, have to embed into that thought to empower it to move. So, understand this I thought as the root of the mind. So, do not focus on the thought, its content, the validity of its content, the supremacy of that content, or the goodness of the content, or the badness of the content. To heck with the content. What is it that is making that content move or seem like moving? It is the I thought. Try to distinguish between I and the thought and see the distinction or separateness between the both. Like how? Can you all see me? Can you also perceive the separateness of me and you? Why? Because you can see me. right? You can see yourself as separate, you can see me as separate, and you can see us as two distinct separate thing existing. Similarly, there is the thought. I want you to know this trick to observe. Fearlessness is the result. There is nothing to fear about inside. No anxiety, no stress, because the thought comes, you can peel the layers off and peel the I thought separate, and you see the content. What will happen to it? All its vitality seems to be crashing down. Do you see the directness of the path? It is not trying to analyze, why am I having a bad thought, why is this a good thought, why is it that. It is not about goodness, badness or indifference of the thought. It is going into the, what exactly is this thought, what is it that makes it move, can I annihilate it at its root cause. This, when you sit on the seat of meditation, instead of being scared of the thoughts, when I sit for my japa, lot of thought comes, let them come. When I am sitting in the balcony, I see lot of water pouring down in the form of rain, let it come. You are safe. Wherever you are staying and watching is not flooded. So sit and watch. But not watch as the content, but watch as the conscious principle which is empowering that thought. You separate and it collapses. Now this you have to go practice. What has been said, you have to literally sit there and make an observation. And that day when you can really peel these two layers off, the I thought and the content, separate them and see that the matter content collapses right in front of you. It lies there impotent, can't do anything. Now from that standpoint, look at all habits, addictions, patterns that exist. Can any pattern, addiction or habit take a control over your life? I need to jump start, no, kick start my day. What's the poison? Coffee. Some people have these decaffeinated black liquid. It is decaffeinated, there is no caffeine to call it coffee. It is just the warm feel and the smell of it, and the mind is It's a habit. Addictions like drugs, alcohol, what else? Food, shopping, gambling. Lust or passion, whatever be the, you can just separate yourself and watch it. You say, I don't know why it is coming, let it come. As long as you can separate yourself from it and observe it, it will fall flat on its face. There is no pattern, no habit, no addiction you can be afraid of. And the moment you learn the art of separation, all the addictions fall apart. Now there is a big thing going around saying that all the addictions are genetic. I don't know how much research is into it, but I think my cynicism there is saying that you can put it under coverage, medical coverage, if you can put it as a disease, a genetic disease, genetic disease to shop, a genetic disease to enjoy liquor and get knocked out. This is just a matter meaning material in the subtlest form. How can that take a grip of your life? Even if it is genetics. If it is putting your entire life under turmoil, isn't it high time you pull yourself out and watch it? It's not going to analyze why that exists. Whatever be the why, it doesn't matter. I can kick that out because I am the I thought, I am that consciousness which gives it the power to exist and move. So, next 7 days, will you sit and try analyzing each thought, whatever is the pattern that you pick, one habit or one pattern of emotion, whatever is bothering you, can you sit with it and watch it? Don't try to analyze it, don't try to see who is saying it, what intention they are saying it, why they are saying it, which situation. It is nonsense. If there is a reactionary pattern, can that reactionary pattern exist if I am not entertaining it? As simple as that. But you have to be very alert to observe that. The sly of this mind is so strong that before even we realize, we are already attached and attacked. Today I will not entertain any questions because the thought is not yet complete and the thought has just been introduced for you to go experiment. Next week when you come, I will entertain questions because it will take a different format of depth with the next shloka. So, all those who are on the online, and don't start shooting out questions today, hold on. What questions, Swamiji? First we have to understand to question you. It all went above. The sense of not understanding is also a thought content. It is a frustration. Step out, observe that frustration, frustration drops. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.